Hello, Dawgpound South campers. This is the Cleveland Browns Dawgpound South podcast, part of the Fanatical Elves Network, part of the Fans First Sports Network. I'm your host, Steve Gill. Well, did everybody survive their first Sunday without football? I did. Didn't watch any of the NBA All-Star game. I'm sorry. It's doesn't do anything for me. Did watch last night the 50th anniversary of Saturday Night Live. I thoroughly enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun. But we still have to talk about the Browns. I know. Myles Garrett is still a member of the Cleveland Browns, and in my opinion, he will be a member of the Cleveland Browns. I don't see them trading him. On Friday, Mr. Florio from Pro Football Talk proposed a bundle. I didn't know he was a big fan of American Pickers, but anyway, he proposed a bundle deal to send Myles Garrett and Deshaun Watson to the same team. Now, his reasoning, which, it's commendable to think that you get rid of him, but, there's a problem with all this, and it was pointed out by Jack Duffin and a lot of people like me, that you would end up with about $171 million dead cap hit. Now, the proposed salary cap for 2025, we don't know what it is yet, but it, over the cap has it at 272.5. So that would roughly leave you a little more than $100 million. I believe right now on signed to contracts on the roster, I believe they have 51 players already signed. So basically, you wouldn't be able to do anything in free agency. Very little, nothing. You would have draft picks, but you'd have a huge cap hit, and it just wouldn't work. You're looking at 0-17 right there. And a lot of people push back on Florio, and then he doubled down, calling them armchair salary cap experts. Well, if you're not going to pay attention to the salary cap, Mike, you're going to get that kind of response, because there are a lot of people out there who do understand it. I understand it. Jack Duffin understands it. Billy Sparks understands it. So then he proposed that they do it, as a June 2nd trade. Well, here's the problem with that. You've got to hold on to Myles Garrett till after June 2nd. So basically, zero free agents. Then if you wait till after June 2nd, guess what? You're not going to get any draft picks until 2026, because the draft will already be over. You can't accept draft picks for a player that the deal won't go down. I mean, it has to be approved. It has to be concluded. So if you're going to get draft picks for 2025, the deal would have to go down prior to June 2nd, which would kill the team. And after June 2nd would also kill the team. No Nick Chubb, no Wyatt Teller. Joel Bitonio will retire. No Jack Conklin. Let's see. Denzel Ward will probably ask to be traded. You're gonna lose a ton of players. The only way I can see any of this Myles Garrett trade happening is if Jimmy Haslam approves it. And right now, I hear no. He wants Myles Garrett to stay on the team. Let's take a quick break. Okay, so Haslam, sorry, he wants to keep Myles Garrett. He knows that if he's traded, it destroys their financials. So Myles Garrett isn't going anywhere. I keep telling you people this. He's not going anywhere. And he doesn't have a choice of where he gets to go. If you do this June 2nd trade after the June 1st, then you're taking a gamble on getting 2026 draft picks from a team who could pull a Washington Commander, go from a 3-win team to a playoff team. What good does those draft picks do you in 2026? Also, if I'm Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry, if Jimmy Haslam says, okay, look, I'm tired of this mess. See what you can do, make the best trade, blah, blah, blah. If I'm Andrew Berry or Kevin Stefanski, I want assurances from Jimmy Haslam that neither one will be fired, because they're not going to compete, the Browns, until 2026, 2027. And I would have assurances from the owner that he isn't going to can me because of a ridiculous trade. So don't read anything on the social media that says likely destination for Myles Garrett. It's not going to happen. All right. So I did a little reading over the weekend. I'll have a mock draft for you later today at Cleveland Brown at dawgpoundsouth.net. It's my second one. I usually don't do mock drafts until after the combine. You get your relative athletic scores out of the combine. You get your age guardrails updated from the Browns front office, and I do pay attention to those things. So I was reading, and I found an interesting stat from NFL.com. The Browns have an 83.7% tackle efficiency rate. That is basic percentage of tackles, opportunities that yielded a tackle. That's the worst in the league. That shouldn't surprise anybody, because that is the worst percentage in the league. And the amazing thing is they've had a low tackle rate, bottom 5 for the last 5 years. So that's prior to Kevin Stefanski coming here. They had a bad tackle rate when Freddie was the coach. I don't know what the Browns have to do, but that is a major contributor to 3-14 right there. How they won 11 games 2 years ago, and in 2020 also made the playoffs. I don't know, with that kind of tackle rate. I don't understand that. You can say, well, it's coaching, but they've had different coaches, and they've had different players. I don't get it. I just don't get it. But here are the top 5 teams with highest tackle percentage rate. Kansas City's number 1. Baltimore, Denver, Pittsburgh, Detroit. Those are your top 5 in tackle percentage rate, which tells you a good defense can carry a team. I mean, Denver is number 3 with a rookie quarterback. So a good defense, a competent quarterback can carry a team. Now, I am still, like I said, I'll have another mock draft out. I am still team Abdul Carter. I don't like either one of these quarterbacks, the top 2. Being the top 2 on an average quarterback draft isn't the greatest thing in the world. So a lot of people are talking about how small Abdul Carter is, and he's puny. He looks too thin. Well, he's 6'3", 251. Will Anderson, 6'4", 243, had 11 sacks last year. Max Crosby, everybody knows who Max Crosby is, 6'5", 255, 7.5 sacks last year. T.J. Watt, 6'4", 252, 11.5 sacks last year. Jonathan Grenard, 6'3", 259, 12 sacks. And just to see, I know a lot of people say, well, he can't cover the run. If you watch the Super Bowl, you saw Nolan Smith, who is 6'2", 235, had 6.5 sacks last year, did damn well against the run. And so did T.J. Watt this past year. I am firmly in the belief that Abdul Carter is the best player to draft at number 2. You could even trade with the Giants and go down to number 3 and still get him. If Sanders goes number 1, I would not object to the Giants trading up 1 spot to get Cam Ward, and then you get Abdul Carter at number 3. He will make a difference this year. I know a lot of people talk about Mason Graham, and Mason Graham's a great athlete. He's a great player, but he's only going to play like 60% of the snaps. Abdul Carter could go out there. Your defensive line is done. I mean, a lot of people claim that Andrew Berry doesn't draft well. Well, Isaiah McGuire had a great season. Alex Wright the year before had a great season. There are two guys who will be on this defensive line. Briggs, late draft pick. He showed quite a bit at the end of the season. So your defensive line would be set. I am all for Abdul Carter at 2, maybe 3, and then at 33, get an offensive lineman. Let's go ahead and fix the D line and the O line, and then move on. Get your couple running backs. Get you a tight end. Andrew Berry will always draft a corner and a wide receiver. Get a safety. There are some good safeties in this draft. So I know we're a long way off, 66 days till the draft, but we still have the combine and free agency before then. So everybody, have a great day. This has been the Cleveland Browns Dawgpound South podcast, part of the Fanatical Elves Network, part of the Fans First Sports Network. Thank you for joining me, Dawgpound South campers. And just remember, here at the Fanatical Elves Network, we're Browns fans, just like you. So everybody have a great day and go